Hello, and welcome to Why I Love Warhammer, the series where I go on a borderline unscripted ramble about why I love something in this hobby. Today's episode is Chaos Demons, and this is the first episode recorded with the new mic setup, so hopefully the sound quality is going to be a bit better. And in honour of the cold I currently have, the first thing on the screen is the Nurglings. And it's a the Chaos Demons are a really interesting faction to me. Partially, a lot of it's to do with the lore. I'm always a sucker when things don't actually die in the setting, which I know sounds a bit counterintuitive for a war game, but I enjoy the fact that for the vast majority of the time, if a demon is slain, it goes back into the warp and reconstitutes. And I think there was a thing with Sanguinius able to actually slay a demon for good, but I don't quite remember the details of that one. But yeah, there aren't that many ways to actually slay a demon, and if they were easy to know, the Eldari would have slain Slanesh by now. And yeah, their souls wouldn't be in danger of going to Slanesh after they were slain. The other thing I love is how varied they all are. The fact that you can tell, even just from even on the grey plastic, you can tell what's going to be Nurgle, what's going to be Khorne, what's going to be Tzeentch. Weird enough, I used to pronounce it Tzeentch all my life. Since 4th edition, I pronounced it Tzeentch. And then Games Workshop came out with that official pronunciation guide, and they pronounced it Tzeentch. So I've tried to adjust my pronunciation accordingly. And the other thing I love is just with demons from the kind of that background perspective is that you can really tell which Chaos God they are in relation to kind of relatively quickly. I might have already started saying that one before I got distracted. So with Nurgle, they tend to be decaying and rotten. With Khorne, they're spiky and have like all the blades and loads of weapons. Tzeentch, they tend to be a bit weird and a bit unnatural looking. And Slanesh, a lot of them do have that very hedonistic quality to them. There's a tendency to stereotype Slanesh as being basically the chaos god of lust, but it's more about excess and hubris, and I feel like the demons represent that quite well. Nurglings, in honor of my cult. There's a reason, in my opinion, that these guys are the ones that are base decorations for so many other sculpts, why these guys have a plush toy, why these guys are so frequently used in marketing materials. They are fun-loving. Look at them, they are all smiling. They're evil smiles, sure, but they're smiling, and they're happy. And I enjoy how Nurgle demons are happy, and they just love being Nurgle demons. They may be decaying with these pustules, they may have their innards coming out, but they're loving life. I mean, the same can't always be said for the followers of Nurgle. I mean, cultists never look happy, and the Death Guard Marines are never the chillest looking guys, but the demons are happy, and yeah, they're loving their situation. And I love how varied the Nurglings are as well. They're all doing their own thing. They're a bit playful, like this guy pranking pulling the other guy's tongue. And kind of climbing on top of one another. I just think they're really cool looking models, and there's a reason why people love them. They're awesome. Okay. Kairos Fate Weaver. I love this model. If I ever owned one, I think I'd end up spending a full year trying to do the paint job any justice whatsoever, because it's so intricately beautiful. The wings, the detail on the wings, the the curviness of that staff, the detail on the book, and the top bit of it, all of the feathering all down the body is just so phenomenal that I don't know if I could ever do the paint job. I don't think I could ever do this model justice with painting it up. One thing I do like with Cinch, and this model specifically, and the other unnamed Greater Demon of Cinch, I love the bird aesthetic. Not just because birds are cool, but because, and I'm hoping I'm not the first person to say this, because I've never heard anybody else draw this parallel, but I cannot be the first to draw a parallel between the two heads of Chios Fate Weaver and other unnamed Greater Demons of Cinch, and the two-headed eagle Aquila of the Imperium. If I'm the first to say it, fantastic. If I'm not, fair enough. But I love that the kind of the Chaos God of Schemes and stuff is this kind of grotesque demonic parody of the Imperium. I think that's a really nice touch that really kind of adds that level to Siege of that morale of this is you but twisted. Screamers, a sucker for a good manta ray or stingray, and based on these tails, I'm going to go with stingray. The weird eyes always freak me out. This guy in the middle's got 6 eyes, not symmetrical. 8 eyes here, 8 eyes here. Oh, these kind of manta ray like mouths here. It's really kind of creepy and disconcerting. But also with the 8 eyes and these front fangs that look like a tarantula's fangs. If you ever see a tarantula when it goes, and it's got the fangs going up like that, that's what those teeth remind me of. And that always makes it a bit scarier and a bit more horrifying to me. But they also remind me a bit of the at the end of the original Half-Life game, when you go to the alien world Zen, you can see these ray-like things flying across the alien skies, and they remind me of those. It wouldn't surprise me if a bit of inspiration was taken from Half-Life for these guys, but the parallel is still there, regardless of where the inspiration's from. And I think these are really cool sculpts, and they had a lot of variety to the eye, just hurtling down the table. Weird enough, even though at the time of recording, the Chaos Demons like combat patrol and stuff is all focused on Khorne. When I was going through these slides, Cinch seems disproportionately represented in my favourite models from the faction. And I think that's just because of how varied they are. And that, you know, these guys don't look that much like they don't look that much like Chios Fate Weaver. They don't look like that much like the Changeling. They don't look that much like the Pink, Blue, and Brimstone Horrors. They are their own thing. All the Cinch demons look really unique. A lot of the Khorne stuff is kind of focused on, is very Bloodletter centric. A lot of the Nurgle stuff, as varied as it is, has a lot of the same design motifs. And then Slaanesh has demonettes on quite a lot of the models. And as much as I love all the Chaos Demons, I think Cinch is disproportionately represented because of just how varied all the design principles are. I think this guy's called the Sloppy Bile Piper. And this guy is everything that Nurgle Demon should be. He's happy, he's weird, deeply weird. You've got a happy little Nurgling here. If you ever want to know what my face is like if I receive a positive comment on one of my videos, this Nurgling, but wearing more clothes. It's just such a lovely sculpt. It's just deeply weird. These bones of different colours, this pus coming out here. The fact it looks a bit like a human heart that he's playing as bagpipes. This weird long tongue. This eye gazing meaningfully outwards. This very simplified version of the Nurgle symbol. It's just a really deeply weird, deeply cool model, to the point where I may end up starting a Nurgle Demons army just to have this guy as my warlord, because just so cool. Okay, Changeling. Like a ring wraith from Lord of the Rings, but with far more arms and a different color scheme. I love the hooded figure in the robes motif. I think that just makes for really cool models. The asymmetrical arms. I love the staff. I love the intricate details. This snake, this bird here. And I love how he floats on what I can only assume is some kind of warp energy that he's then using for spells. I just think it's a really brilliantly done model. And I love that kind of cloaked aspect of Siege, because Siege is the schemer. And having this on there for scheming, this looks like a model that schemes. And I love that for Siege. Okay, the blue, brimstone, and pink horrors. They've got faces like that remind me of the evil gremlins in Gremlins. They've got the terrifying charging pose. A few of them have the beaks to kind of bring that bird aesthetic into Siege a bit more. The weapons are kind of elegant and a bit terrifying, but also they have that trope of you got the horde of things, you cut one in two, it becomes two things, you cut that in two, it becomes two more things. And that endless swarm of these guys is beautifully terrifying in a way that Warhammer can really, really capitalize on. Beast of Nurgle. Anytime I'm told in the lore this has the personality of a friendly dog, I'm sold. That if memory serves, they've got the personality of a friendly dog, but because they are giant demons of Nurgle, they have a tendency to inadvertently slay the things they come up and try to hug, which is a little bit sad in a way that makes me like it more. It's sympathetic. It's a bit horrifying. It's got a scaly snake-like body, but it's kind of got Jabba the Hutt vibes in terms of being fat, and they are huge. I think the models are about yay big, and scaling that, I'd be about yay big. I'm not in a position to hug this thing, but it's still just a really interesting sculpt. I love the lore behind them. They're friendly, and I love how Nurgle's followers are happy, even if their followers aren't. The demons are. I love that with Chaos Demons, how well represented the essence of each Chaos God is. Nurgle's followers are decaying but happy. Khorne's followers are angry and jabby. The Siege are kind of strange and conniving, and Slaanesh is kind of all hedonistic and about excess, which is really what Slaanesh is about. There's a tendency to think of Slaanesh as just the Chaos God of Lust. It's excess. It's worldly pleasures to the absolute extreme. But Beast of Nurgle is so perfect at representing what demons of Nurgle are about. Okay, Khorne, guys. I'm a sucker for a steed, and I love these kind of rhinos that the Khorne demons have, and the bloodletters of Khorne, kind of horrifying. They're like your classic demons. These are the demons that you get when people draw artwork of Paradise Lost, when they draw artwork of Dante's Inferno. The demons they draw are like the bloodletters of Khorne. So I love how kind of pure antagonism the Khorne demons are. And I love the spiky rhino steed. I'm a sucker for a good steed in Warhammer, and I love these rhinos as steeds. They've got the Khorne symbol here. Giant sword. I mean, that sword looks like it's as big as the demon. Which is hilarious in a way that only a demon could really manage. Okay, the Seekers of Slaanesh. By far my favourite Slaanesh-y thing. Again, go figure, I enjoy a good steed in this game. But they're kind of they're cool. They look a bit like certain dinosaurs. They've got kind of giraffe-like necks going on. They're a bit like the in Star Wars Phantom Menace. The Gungans have these animals that they ride into battle. They remind me a lot of those. And I was 5 years old when the Phantom Menace came out. I unironically enjoyed it. I was 5 years old. And so these guys remind me of the Gungans. I'm going to like them a bit more. But they are kind of cute as well. And just very interesting. Demonettes are cool. I enjoy these kind of weird crab claws. They're not my favourite aspect of Slaneshi demons. I prefer I like the bits that kind of represent that hedonism a bit more. So these guys are here in my favourite models, kind of in spite of the demonettes rather than because of them. Okay, pink horror riding a chariot with a screamer on. What is not to love? It's weird. It's got these tenderly. It's got these books. It's scheming. It's got all these scrolls. And the disc that it's riding on for the chariot is a bit like the disc that you can put Araman of 1,000 Suns onto. So it's kind of got that overall. It kind of links the two allied forces together. So I just think this is a really interesting sculpt, and you can just imagine this thing zooming down the field. I can't remember the name of this model. It's the Nurgle Snail. I think it's brilliant. I love snails. This thing's face is hilarious to me. This Nurgling trapped here just seems to be loving life, and it's posed a bit like an anglerfish lure, which is also cool. And this guy looks like, he's just kind of sitting there. I can imagine him with a kind of very stereotypical Southern States of America accent, and asking what you're doing around here. And he's got this little plant-like thing here that reminds me of Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. It's just a deeply weird, disconcerting model that I freaking adore. The caterpillar-like feet. And in these things, which I've only just clocked. This is my second take of recording this video. And I've been looking at this model for God knows how long. But I've only just noticed that it's kind of chained down. Which almost seems like they're trying to slow it down artificially, because if it could go at full speed, then bless your heart and bless your soul, you're not gonna be making it. It's like they're nerfing their own thing because it's too powerful. At least that's how it comes across to me. So it's just a deeply weird, deeply wonderful sculpt, and all four things that look alive look very happy to be there. It's just a deeply enjoyable model. Okay, Blood Crushers of Khorne. Again, just a group of guys riding these weird rhino things. I do love the Khorne aesthetic of red with silver and gold accents on the trims, and I think it's just a really nice color scheme, and it kind of feels like it ties all the models together in a really lovely way. And these guys really kind of bring that home. Okay, this one is the Changer of Ways, I believe. Again, cool Cinchian bird. Another one I could easily spend a year on this model trying to do it justice. Honestly, all the praise I gave to Kairos Fate Weaver equally applies to this guy. Big bird, he's flamey, beautiful feathers, beautiful intricate kind of detailing on it, and I love this cool sword. It looks really elegant. It's like someone took the swords that the elves use in the Lord of the Rings and went, okay, that, but more elegant, more intricate. It's such an interesting model that I could look at it for hours. Okay, great Unclean one. Again, just a classic Nurgle model. There was someone did a Great Clean one at one point where they made it just look like a non-decayed baby, which was somehow more disturbing than this thing with its terrifying grin, these horns, the guts coming out, this Nurgling here with its own sword. And I just think this is such an interesting model, such a cool sculpt, such a beautiful model, really. I mean, disgusting. It's, it's decayed, it's got muscle sinew coming out here, guts coming out here, but in terms of a sculpt, I think it's phenomenal. And it'd be such a challenge to paint, but so interesting. I think I would, yeah, if I've got the chance, I'd love to try painting one up, but I don't think I'd ever get it looking as good as this one. The sculpt itself is beautiful. I prefer the Great Unclean one to the named Greater Demon of Nurgle, the Rotarigris or something. Just I prefer its face. I love the smile it's got going on. Keeper of Secrets. Again, I prefer the unnamed one here to the Shalaxi Hexbane of which is the named Greater Demon of Slaanesh. But again, it's just elegant and beautiful. I love this sword, the cloven hooves of classic demons, the blades for hands, the kind of goat-like horns here. Again, that kind of classic Dante's Inferno, Paradise Lost style demon. And then Bloodthirst, the unnamed Greater Demon of Khorne. This is what Khorne's about. It's terrifying. It's red and gold and silver. Its weapons like a hammerhead on a thorn whip, and this huge axe. I mean, if I ever had one of my own, I think what I'd prefer to do is not have it standing on the flames, but then have the flames elsewhere, or have something else to kind of give the model its true height, so I'm not modeling for advantage. But as much as I do like the idea he's jumped so demonically that it's left a trail of fire, it just doesn't feel quite so sturdy to me. I mean, maybe he is really sturdy and I'm just overthinking it, but that's how I personally want to construct mine. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful sculpt. I love these. I love the wings with the holes in like this. It adds something. Again, the just general Khorne aesthetic is just really wonderful. And I think, yeah, those are all my favourite models from the Chaos Demons line. And why I love Chaos Demons, just the variety, the sheer personality in the sculpts and the paint jobs is so beautifully present in all of the demons. The variety of them, being able to play any mixture of them you like, and also be able to play them in 3 different Games Workshop games, is something phenomenal to me. And with that, I'll ask if you want to, if you enjoy liking stuff like this in your feed, feel free to please hit the subscribe button and the old notification bell. And if you want to please like the video, that'd be amazing. If you want to share this with friends, that would be brilliant too. And if you want to leave a comment about, let's say, common question of the day is, who's your favourite Chaos God to hear about? Because I'll be very happy to do another one of these episodes on an individual Chaos God, because they're all really good, and trying to condense all 4 into one video made things feel a bit more rushed than they necessarily should have done. But with that, I will see you next time.